I finally got it, guys. I had my first ever harsh critique. Somebody called my art ugly. By the way, my name is RJ and I'm a self-taught artist and animator behind Studio De Laron, a channel dedicated to sharing with you everything I'm learning about art and animation. So, a couple weeks back, I had the chance to post my MaryJane Redraw to just chime into the whole J. Scott Campbell issue about fixing art. I took this opportunity to actually learn how to draw the female figure because I haven't really done a lot of it. So, after I finished my artwork, I wanted some feedback from my fellow artists, professional and hobbyists alike, so I posted it on a Discord server. At this time, the channel was actually active and there were some people talking about life, art, and some other random things. After a couple of minutes, there it is. A notification of someone actually mentioned me and my art. I was excited at first because I usually get some positive feedback from my previous posts on this channel. But what I read is this. Why is she so ugly, bruh? Ouch. I took a deep breath and looked at my art again and realized that he was right. The face of my MaryJane art was actually really hideous. I mean, the intention of me doing this art in the first place was to actually learn how to draw the female figure and not the face. But that's not an excuse because now I realize that I need to work on drawing more female faces. So I actually replied to the guy and asked for some tips instead of being so sad about it. And he actually helped me. So one of the things that he said is to break down other people's work. It brought me back to YouTube where I discovered this particular video of Marc Brunet on how to draw simple faces in an easy way. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to draw simple faces using the recipe that Marc used in his video. I will also use this technique to study and break down the female portraits done by Samdoesarts from YouTube. His female portraits has really great stylized appeal to it that I really want to learn from. We will then do some redraw of his own work to really understand how to draw female faces from a professional's point of view. Now, I'm going to combine what I learned from these two artists and see if I could recreate and make my MaryJane art more beautiful. But before we go any further, I just want to mention that this is not a study on how to draw portraits. This method is more catered to drawing the face or the head in a full body figure that can be used for concept art or animation. Anyway, with that said, let's get started. Okay, so here we are with the basics of drawing a simple face. The first thing we need to do is to draw a circle. I usually just draw a circle that is small enough in the canvas to have some space for the body. Again, if you are drawing a portrait, then you will have to draw a bigger circle, but that is not the focus of this video. A small circle is enough and it doesn't have to be really perfect, but make sure you're not drawing an oblong. Use your elbows more when you draw this circle and draw it as fast as you can with one motion. Now, the next thing is to divide this circle into thirds. Grab the 2/3 and place the middle of this in the middle of the circle. Draw a line across and with the same distance as the third, draw another line below the circle. Now the jaw is a couple of lines from the sides of the chin. Now as a general rule, these lines represent the hairline, the brow line, the nose line, and the chin. The eyes will fall just below the brow line and the width of the eyes usually is a fifth of the width of the face, but it can definitely be bigger. The ears will be placed below the eye line down all the way to the nose line. As a general rule, this is the normal proportion of the human face, but you can definitely adjust this according to your taste and the look of the character you are going for. So the next step is to simply use this guideline to draw our character, and here I am drawing a simple male character. Marc's formula for the male face is a hard jawline, smaller eyes with smaller pupils too, and sharper lines. For the eyes, I am very fond of this simple trapezoidal shape which mimics most eyes. I'm also drawing from my imagination, so this drawing has no actual reference, which is not what I'm used to because I'm always drawing with a reference, especially if I'm drawing the full body of a character. However, most of the time, I also tend to just copy the face of the character or the reference. I'm still developing my visual library for drawing faces, so I really need to spend time drawing them. For the female face, the majority of the features are softer. The eyes are a bit bigger than the male, with the eyelashes emphasized. The nose can be a bit softer as well, with the jawline being more curvy than the male. Again, with no reference, it's easy to just draw a generic face, but these simple guidelines and pointers can really help you distinguish the male and female characters. I am also showing you here how I draw the female face on a 3/4 view following the same construction of the guidelines. Remember that the circle you are drawing at the beginning is a sphere, and drawing the center line of this sphere helps you determine which direction the head is facing. I also noticed that when I draw a face, I tend to draw the facial features a bit small, especially in the eyes, so sometimes I make some adjustments accordingly. The guidelines are meant to just be guides, but at the end of the day, when you are doing the face, you must always check if it actually looks good or not and make adjustments accordingly. Like the hairline over here. If I place the hairline where the guide is showing, it looks a bit off, so I have to draw the hairline somewhere below it. So in the next part of this video, I want to bring up the portrait studies of Samdoesarts and see if this guide holds up to his female portrait studies. I really like the appeal of his style, which at first looks like it's quite exaggerated, especially the eyes. So at first I wasn't sure if the guides will actually match, but as I was doing the breakdown and applying the mask, I realized that he's actually following these basic guides on how to draw the face. When he draws the sketches of these female portraits before he paints them, he doesn't necessarily have to draw these guides anymore because it becomes automatic for him after loads of practice. Keep in mind that I am not aiming to be a digital artist that specializes in female portraits like him, but I want to capture the way he draws his female characters and fuse it in my own style. I'm not really sure if it will really work, but the only way to find out is to actually do it. Now, using these guides, I want to redraw his characters and see if I could capture the essence of these paintings with simple line sketches. I always draw with the regular classic cartoonist brush from Photoshop. I always like the boldness and edgy quality of this brush, which works well for my style. I redraw the 3 portraits and just practice his style. The question I'm really asking myself during this process is whether or not this fits in the animation style drawings I am creating. I'm not sure yet, so I wanted to test it out and redraw my MJ art. This time, I'll only be focusing on the upper body and the face. So for the next couple of minutes, I'll just be showing you a time-lapse demo of my redraw, so chill out and relax and enjoy the time-lapse video. I really didn't color this art anymore because the main focus of this video is to just study how to draw the female faces in a much more easy and better way. Let me know in the comments below if you actually see an improvement from my previous artwork of MaryJane, and if I actually did my own art justice and made her look more prettier or at least not ugly. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be ending the video right here. See you guys on the next video, and keep on creating so you can make this world a better place with your imagination.